Okay, take 5 or something. It's taking me a minute to get back into this, I guess. I have taken some days to be really silent with myself. And really looking at the nature of who I am and why I am the way I am and all kinds of stuff. Whether it's right or wrong or what I'm going to be like going forward or not, one thing is certain, and that is that I have a knack for and very much enjoy observing another person into their energy, seeing the boo-boo within them, and trying to love it. Like, I've noticed, this is just all energetic that it happens. Like, I notice a person, they're just like dum-de-dum, passing by in the grocery store or like standing in line next to me. And I can see their energy and I can see where they're hurt. I can sometimes even read it right on their face. You know where there are boo-boos in people when you're reading energy. And like, those are the places where I'm like, more boo-boos, the more attracted I am to that person. And it's like weird because it's like this mothery part of me wants to like kiss the boo-boo and make it all better and like pat the head, like it's okay. But meanwhile, like I'm like, there's the other person is like, dude, I've been like drinking a 6-pack every night just to avoid looking at that thing that you keep staring at. So could you please stop? You're making me very uncomfortable. Like, I feel exposed and naked, and I don't go into that part of my life, so neither can you. And I'm just like, oh, So it has made it difficult with the social aspects of life, having this proclivity to kiss boo-boos. But nonetheless, I have this skill. And until it is something that I figure out why I don't need it anymore or heal in myself the reason that I'm doing it or whatever, I'm going to utilize it. So in this pick a card, we're looking at the next wound that's up for healing that you've been distracting from. So what is the next boo-boo that needs to be kissed that's going to come to your awareness? And the choices are 1, 2, or 3, and this is number 1. This is number 2. And this is number 3. So you're going to take some deep breaths. Use your own intuition to find out if there's a message in one of these readings for you. Reading 1, reading 2, or reading 3. So just choose one when you're ready. The deep breaths are like, in order to let your racing mind kind of settle in to a resting space so that you can hear. You want to hear your higher self, your guidance, or your inner self tell you which one of these is right for you. Okay? And now let's get started with pick number 1. Pick number 1. What is the next wound you will boo-boo that needs kissing that you will become aware of? What's the next wound that you have been distracting from? What's the wound you've been distracting from? Okay. So, because you chose this, I'm going to start out with this. You are a person who does shadow work. You are a person who already understands about healing, about what it takes, and you are most definitely aware and willing and wanting to address whatever this next thing is. And I would say that remember that this isn't like you've done something wrong. This is just the next thing. This isn't like a bigger thing than any other thing that you've already done. You already know how to do the things. And this is just a fun way of being clued into the next thing. Literally just fun. Fun because, look, we're both conscious people. Look, we can have a little fun. Look, we can laugh a little. Look, we can support somebody else. Look, we can, stave off a little boredom by playing a little bit and seeing another point of view and, things like that. So, it's not too serious. It's just the next thing. I'm going to use this deck with you. First picks. I'm going to ask, what is the wound? What is the wound that is next to heal? This doesn't even mean that you'll definitely heal this next, The wound that you need to heal. Letting go and vacation. It's like a feeling of always needing to do it yourself. Why do you always feel like you need to do it yourself? Who let you down? Who wasn't there when you needed them to be? Why do you feel like you have to stay on point, on guard, taking care of this situation? Or what? What will happen? Are you trying to be good? Are you trying to be right? Are you trying to just do the next right thing? Okay. Anything else on this wound? My little egg was on the floor. This is from the card. See my little Misa? Made that for me. Egg art by Mia Mullen. Okay, the card that fell, higher consciousness. Okay. So all you're going to do for this is... Yeah, this is just a thing that you haven't looked at the higher meaning of yet. So, you've still been doing it. That's all. What created this wound? What created this wound? At some point, you wanted to go on vacation. You wanted to travel somewhere. And you were not allowed to. You feel stuck. Tied to something. And it's your independence. It's your self-reliance. It's increasing your wealth. You feel fully responsible and capable, and you are, of handling all these things. But the thing is, because it's like responsibility and the way you have to function on Earth, it's a part of being on earth, living and going to work and making money and being independent and taking care of yourself. Because of that, you view it as your responsibility. And in the process of doing so, you have bypassed an actual wound that's associated with doing so. Okay, so it's not that you're doing the wrong thing, it's that the reason you're doing it is a boo-boo that will need your attention. And so that's why it's your blind spot. That's why you hadn't been able to see it for what it is. It's because it blends in as if it's the thing you're supposed to be doing. So what you'd want to do is look at the reason you're doing it. Like, why are you unable to move on? Why are you taking all the responsibility and relying only on yourself? Why are you unable to trust in somebody else to pick up some of the slack? Okay. So think about in your past, what was it in your past? Let's see if we can get some energy on that. I'm going to do one card from here and two from here. What was it in the past that didn't allow you to experience interdependence? The healthy version of relating and getting by in life is called interdependence. So this is where we, yes, depend on ourselves, but we also know that there are other people that can do things too. And that if we work together, that we can actually get further. It's like teamwork, you know. So what happened what was this thing that caused you to become so self-reliant and independent? Okay, a few cards came out here. So, oh honey. Okay, so what caused you, I'm sorry, but the wound is kind of coming active in me right now. So if you can use that to your advantage, go right ahead. If it's coming activated in you, let yourself be with it. Let yourself be with this hurt part of yourself. Okay, I'm going to help you through it right now. We're going to do something weird and magical that I've not done in a pick a card before, but I'm going to hold space. And I'm going to let you process this if you want to right now. Okay, somebody in your life who had an authority position over you was ruthless. They didn't care about what you needed or wanted or whatever in that moment. You felt powerless. You were powerless. You were actually powerless because this was a person of authority over you. At a time when you were just trying to explore the world. Somebody made you feel powerless. You didn't feel like you could get away. They seemed very, and see my communication, my voice just cracked. So it was a time you couldn't even say anything. You couldn't even say anything about this. There was no comeback from you because they seemed insightful and they had like, boom, 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 this is how it is. You feel that? You feel like that moment where this person just crunched and crushed the alive, beautiful, flourishing, curious, thriving part of you into a little box. A lot of things were not allowed to be in that box, like love, like how you feel, like weakness. Love, how you feel, and weakness were all kind of shut out and you were put in this little, and like, basically they said, this is how you're going to be this way, to survive in this, and you felt powerless to, because you were loving, you did have weaknesses, you did feel, and somebody told you it wasn't okay, and in order to survive, you pushed it out. Okay, ready? Let's be with that part of yourself. Let's be in that box with that part of yourself that feels so small, that feels so squished. I need to get one more card from this deck while I'm doing this. It's such a very uncomfortable, tight way to live. It's like, that's why you feel stuck. Okay, the stuck feeling you have is because you're stuck in acting in this certain way with the exclusion of those other ways. Okay? Sit with and love that part of yourself. Ready? We're doing it. We're being with that part of ourselves that was not honored and not allowed to be who we were. We were literally suppressed by someone who was in authority over us, that we had to please in order to get what we need from them, which was their love and approval. This happened at a time when you thought you should be honored. This was surprising. You felt so much shame. That shame you don't want to feel that shame that comes with that moment. Okay, so this is why you boxed it up. This is why you boxed yourself up. Because in that moment, it was like you were expecting this other thing, this celebration of who you are. And then they basically told you, nope, that is not how it is. Boxed you in. And then you were stuck feeling the shame of having acted the wrong way. The shame of feeling self-important. So even caring for self went on the back burner in favor of doing the right thing and relying on self. It's like you could rely on yourself, but not care about yourself. Do you see how lonely that is? I'm sure you feel it. I'm sure you feel how lonely that is. Okay. So listen, we're going to get through this. This is a wound that can be healed. That's a moment of trauma. That is a real life-shattering moment of trauma. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this is the reading that's coming out here. I mean, bless you big. We're doing something magical right here. Do you feel it? Like, I know you feel it's like your heart's kind of breaking open a little. Like you're just sitting with the uncomfortableness in your heart. That's okay. That's normal. That's okay. This wound, this part of you has been ignored. This part of you has needed your attention for a long time. This part of you may not trust you when you start paying attention to it. You will have to have a safe container for this part of you to feel this shame. And then you, being who you are now, know that there's no shame involved with wanting to have your needs met, wanting to be heard and felt, and wanting to be cared about, and wanting to have love and care for others. I'm just like giving you the energy of loving that part of yourself, being with that part of yourself. Put that part of yourself right in your heart. Invite it to be with you now. It can be with you now. You. Show it what you are like. You can handle this. You are somebody who handles this. You handle your business. I know you do. Okay, so allow this part of you to be with you, this hurt part of you. Yes, this hurt part of me is now with me, is here, has had that experience. I love this hurt part of me. I love this part of me that felt powerless to this authoritative figure that told me how I needed to be, without recognizing that I was so much more, without making room for the so much more that I am. Now I need to make room for the so much more that I am. So let's imagine breaking out of the box. Kick it open, kick it over, break it. If you need a bigger container, make one. If you need no container, be free. Take it slow, be gentle with yourself. You're in new skin, you're in new territory. That shame can be with you. You can feel it, you can cry about it, you can let yourself cry. That's heavy, wow. You got this, you got this. Okay. Take this deck. Can we get some advice for moving through this? I thought we were just going to find out what the wound was. I didn't know we were going to be moving through it. But I think this is really magical. I'm really glad for this chance to do it. And even if you didn't get to do it right now, if you want to come back to this video at another time when you're ready to do it, then you can. That energy will always be there. That anchor of wholeness will always be there with this video, with this reading. Okay, Mars comes up, your will and your drive, okay, which you have in spades. So this is something where you actually will have to consciously, constantly consciously create a new habit for yourself. A new habit of, okay, so we identified that there was a part of you that you were not accessing. You were not allowing it because it had just gone by the wayside in favor of what you were meant to do. And now you're aware that it's there. There's a little ashamed, hurt part of you, a child part of you that is with you now, that is also loving, loves, and has feelings. And that part of you needs your conscious attention every day to reintegrate back into you, okay? So you went a whole lifetime with ignoring it, and now it's going to take some time to reintegrate it. But it will happen quick. It's not like it's going to take years or whatever. It depends on you and the part of you and how much of your will and force and desire you put forth the effort of actually coddling and loving the part of yourself that needs it. So what will help your determination, your masculine energy, your willingness to do it. More let go. Wow, that's twice in this reading that we got let go. So let go is part of the problem. So actively talking yourself into and allowing yourself to let go is another thing that will help you. So those responsibilities that you picked up, that you're independent, that you're self-reliant, let go of some of them. Let go. Let somebody else. Take a vacation. Take that vacation. Literally do it. Literally make yourself do it. Literally make yourself practice letting other people help. Yeah. I could feel when that was said, it was like part of you doesn't want to do that because that's not the habit. And then part of you went, oh my God, that sounds so great. Yeah, because we are interdependent, you know, we're not like, it's not just we're here, you know, by ourselves. Like there are other people here that we're meant to work with. Okay, like my deck is getting all messed up. Let's see. Enjoy some of the sensual things about life, indulge, live it up. Like, you have made all that money, you have yourself in a great position of authority and good wealth. Now enjoy it. Eat the good food, have the good time. Indulge in all the love and the care that you have been deprived of. You have been living kind of like with just part of yourself. And now that other part of yourself that you've welcomed back needs to celebrate with you. Show it a good time. Show it what a great time you are. Show it all the reasons it's great to be back together. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else for this reading. Just like putting the cards back and feeling out if there's anything more. Uncovering these decks, let's see. Oh, things are about to change for you really quick now. This was a very pivotal wound that you just uncovered. So get ready. Get ready for the big changes that come, because you have been living a life that matched that vibration that you held with that wounding pattern, which you were meant to experience in this lifetime. None of it's wrong. You have not done anything wrong or stayed past your due date or anything like that, okay? But this was the time for you to come into your awareness and for you to shift life. Life is now going to change around because you have taken your will and your drive and your awareness to include this new part of you. And now you will also allow other people who are like that to come into your life. So there's a much bigger chance for you to have and give love than ever before in your whole life. Like, your whole life just changed. It's great. I mean, I'm sure you were happy enough before, you just didn't know why that underlying low-level feeling was there, and you may not even have been aware of it when you came to this reading. And I don't mean that like egoically, like, oh, yeah, yay me. I'm just saying, like, from this feeling that I got about this, that's, wow. It's kind of like Spirit needed to take you by surprise to get to it. You were led here because you are stubborn, and this was the only way that they're gonna catch you off guard enough. Well, I'm glad to be of assistance, and thank you for whatever you've done in my life to support me in this thing that I'm doing. So leave a comment or interact if you want, but otherwise, enjoy whatever is about to unfold for you. And thank you for letting me be a witness to it. That was like the best boo-boo kissing ever. Okay, pick number 2. What is the unseen wound that you've been distracting from? If you chose this is a handmade, amazing birthday card that I got from my daughter-in-law. This is my grandchild. Look at her, she's just so cute. She's like in joy with the leaves, like throwing them up. She's just so, I just love her. God, I miss her. And, yeah, they made me this card, and I just love it. And so kind of think this might be about love and relationships and the comforts of home, but let's see. Okay, let's see what is revealed to us. Okay, I'm going to start with this deck. What is the nature of the wound? Oh. This makes so much sense, right? Because I was just showing you this card that my daughter-in-law created by her hands, and then we got creative expression. The nature of the wound is your creative expression, so that is your sacral chakra. Okay. Anything else about the nature of this wounding? So this is about your ability to create on Earth, your ability to harness the energy of creation, the sexual energy, to establish something here on Earth. The next card we got is vacation. Perhaps you are a very creative person, but you have been closed down to it. It's like you took a break from that. Let's see. Wow, this card again. Higher consciousness. Okay, so I gotcha. So this is simply an imbalance. You have been taking your time to explore in the upper realms, you know, so like the higher chakras, the third eye, the crown chakra, and maybe like even astral travel has been happening for you. You have been indulging in the upper chakras and putting kind of this creative expression, which is the lower chakras, on hold. Okay. Okay, the reason you did this, you know, may have been whatever, but on a subconscious level, or at least in the bigger picture of putting the puzzle together level, the reason you did this is because there's a detoxification process that you're going through. There was something in that chakra, the sacral chakra, that needs healing, that needs to be cleansed, that needs to be weighted in, like the emotion of something needs to be weighted in. And you may have gone to take a break from that and focused on some of the upper chakras in the meantime, and just kind of turned your back to that thing that needs healing. So the thing is in the sacral chakra. Okay, I'm going to stop putting the cards on the laptop because it makes the recording stop. Okay, let's see. Why is the wound here? Let's look at that. The wound here. Giving or receiving money, a pay raise, obtaining resources in reverse. Okay, I'm going to keep going. It's something about maybe your creativity wasn't being appreciated. You got your heart broken. By somebody with a temper. And it didn't seem worth it anymore. Or it was your own temper. You just said, fuck this. Fuck this, I'm not getting what I want out of it. It's not worth it because whatever I'm getting in return of expressing myself in this way, creatively or sexually, is not worth it. So I'm done with that. I'm done doing that way. Okay. So it wasn't necessarily a bad thing to take a break from this if something wasn't working, right? You knew. It's like something you knew, and all you did was just redirect your attention. So it's showing you how you distracted. You distracted in the upper realms from this thing. Okay. So why was it there? Okay. Trying to think of how I can get the answer out of this. What's the nature of the wound? What's the nature of the wound? What's the nature of the wound? Of the wound. I'm switching decks. My homemade tarot. What is the nature of the wound? There's nostalgia here. 6 of Cups. Something about your innocence and childhood, the memories. It's in the past. Something. It's like when you expressed yourself in this way in the past, it was all great. But then at some point, somebody didn't love it. Somebody didn't give you that experience. What is the nature of the wound? Teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation. 3 of Pentacles. Private achievement, personal definition of success, fall from grace, egotism. Okay. 6 of Wands in reverse. So you get the 6 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Wands in reverse. The nature of this wound. It's just literally just the ego's expectation of what should come of the expression of that energy. So you made a conclusion based on earlier experiences about how you would be received. And then you made a judgment about what that meant. And then later, somebody else came along and showed you that to them it might mean something different. And then right there, your ego got pinched. It was like a wound of, it was like wanting recognition, but not realizing that the achievement could be recognized by you alone. And it's not like you started doing this stuff for the wrong reasons. You were doing this stuff because you loved doing it. And it was just this one moment about life. It was like realizing that all people weren't like your people. All people were not your people. And then you just went, alright, it's too risky, F this, right? So you cut off a part of yourself, even though all it was a lesson. Okay? That's all. And it's not like this is the wrong time for the lesson, or like you missed the boat and did it wrong all this time until now and you're finding this out. This is like part of your soul's evolution and experience. You wanted the experience of understanding what it was like when people get upset when their expectations aren't met. You know, all that does for you really is allows you to take your expectations back into yourself and look at why you have them. Well, you know what? You have that expectation that you will be appreciated in that way because you were previously appreciated in that way. What a beautiful reason to rejoice. What a beautiful reason to hold on to a memory of something from the past. And it doesn't need to turn into a, but poor me now. It can just be like a, oh yeah, that person appreciated me this way. Maybe not everyone will, but I can. I can appreciate that in myself, you know? What will help us? What will help in this situation? What will help? What will help? These all came out. Sing, open, alchemy, and dance. Take it back. Take it all back within yourself and let yourself open to your creative side once again. So what you're doing is alchemizing, and you can do it through your song and dance. You can do it through opening and loving that part of yourself through your creativity. Make a song about it, dance a dance about it, dance out the anger and aggression, the disappointment, the whatever it was that turned you in that moment and made you feel like it wasn't worth it. Love the part of yourself that feels that way. Simply that. Anything else that will help us with this situation? Oh. Yep. Yeah. I got a few things to say about that. Hidden benefit came out. So while you've been doing all this, and while we've just laid it out very simply, it seems so simple, right? Like, oh, just start creating again. Well, there's a hidden benefit to not creating, right? It could be that you're not risking being judged. It could be that you're not being expected of in a certain way, sexually maybe. You're not risking anything, you know? But there's some hidden benefit to not expressing yourself that way right now. And so you may need to look at that as well. Look at this card. Came up a creative expression. So yes, express yourself. Yes. It's awesome. Creative expression is twice here. Express yourself. Find the hidden benefit to why you haven't been expressing yourself, and then start expressing yourself. It's elusive. I can feel that. Like, these cards are like jumping out of my hand, making me get some exercise and work for it. True love. Ooh. True love is that love. You know, they write poems about it. It goes through all borders, and like it's all faithful, and it doesn't judge. And you had that for your creative expression, so nurture that for your creative expression. Capricorn. Create a structure for you to do this in. Okay, so you don't want to freely express yourself all willy-nilly on the streets and, sing and dance your way through Walmart. But there is a space, there is a structure, there is a time and place that it is appropriate for you. Okay? And if it comes to sex, it's like, if we're talking about sex here, why you've stopped having sex, it's because you're not going to want to have sex until you have true love. And the hidden benefit of not having sex right now is that you get to hold out for your true love. Okay? Okay. Whew. Whew. So creative expression, very important for you. How beautiful. And it seems like this wound is so hidden, right? Because it's like, you already know you're good at creative expression. Like, that can't be the wound, right? Well, the wound is just a simple thing that happened that made you decide, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. And now you've been a little bit out of balance because you've been focused in another direction, just trying to avoid dealing with that one little thing, that one little part of you that needs love. That's an emotion. It's an emotional part of you, which actually could be loved through expressing it, through your creative expression, which can be done in a safe container, free from anybody else's anything, all for you and what it means to you. Oh. In some ways it feels like it would be a shame not to share it with everybody, but you have to do what feels right. And Capricorn is saying, like, create some structure around this for yourself, Make some agreements with others. Make some agreements with yourself about what you're willing to do and expect from yourself. Alright, thank you. It was such an honor to observe this with you. And it's a beautiful boo-boo that deserves a little kiss. Sorry, that was really corny and weird. But I did it. Okay. Sorting these cards back in. Okay, now we're going for pick 3. Hi, if you've chosen number 3. Sorry, I just got a little bit of taming to do here. 3. I just really feel like I need to breathe. Do you ever feel like your hair makes it hard to breathe? Okay. I can see clearly now, the hair is gone. My hair was feeling heavy. Okay, sorry. Let's start again. Number 3. Hope. Okay. Okay, when I tap into this energy, it's like, it feels a little dreary. Let's see. What's the, what's, what's the wound that we are becoming, what's the wound we've been distracting ourselves from? Okay, what's the wound we've been distracting ourselves from? Yeah. Yeah, it's like you lost hope, huh? The magic of nature. What's the wound we've been distracting ourselves from? Sexuality, this is, if we're unable to express our sexuality, we may fall into this apathetic kind of feeling, losing hope and losing that feeling of the magic of nature, because the magic of nature is in the sexuality, the sexual energy of creation. And so you kind of feel humdrum, like you're going through the motions every day, the same thing every day. The magic of life, the vitality of life, the creation of life is all not kind of active. And you expect it to be the same every day. You just got, it's like a little bit of complacency. Okay? So why is this a wound? Okay, why is this wound here in a very practical sense? Why is this wound here in a very practical sense? Why is this wound here in a very practical sense? The Knight of Cups. You tried. You tried. You have a standard you're trying to live up to. You've attempted to elicit that kind of experience from life a few times now with failure, and you forgot the ingredient of never give up and keep trying, and failure is a part of the success. So you kind of just got complacent and lost your fight. So you may be holding on to a relationship that is ending, that's over. The Ten of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Cups. It's the Knight of Cups is like went into this relationship thinking, this is great, I love this, this is beautiful. Your imagination was full of what it could be. And then you realize that it wasn't all that you wanted it to be. You might be coming to the end. Okay, so you may have come to the conclusion that this did need to end. Since it's in reverse and since it's like part of the nature of the problem, you may be feeling complacent because you did have to let it go. And now you're like, now what? Okay. You may have resisted it at first, but then you let it go. And now you need a recovery period. That's all. You're going through a stage of grief. It's a stage of grief that you're in. And okay. let's look for the root cause. What's the root cause of this? What's the root cause of this experience? Your soul's looking to be content. You want a family. You want to find fulfillment and joy. Okay, so this ending is part of that. Just know that, you know. Your soul is working towards this. So you want content is the thing. Okay, so you are a growing, learning being. You do know that you get back up and do it again. And you weren't content, so you got back up and you did it again. And that's what you did. You just tried. So you just had another experience that taught you something, okay? You do want to have hope. The whole thing is that you want to have hope. It's like even when you've given up with trying, you still have hope. You don't like it when things are in disarray and disorganized, and you kind of want to pin it all down. So you're probably having experience where things are disorganized and things are not clean and so that you have to learn how to make them clean. You have to learn what you need to change about yourself in order to regain that resilience. Okay, but I really do feel that you are going through a process. This shouldn't be rushed. This is nothing to be rushed. You have not missed the boat. You're not wrong for where you're at. Where you are at is exactly where you're meant to be at. So let's just take that for a moment. It's perfect as it is right now. As untidy and disorganized as it is, as discontent as you feel, as hopeful or lacking hope that you feel, as like de-energized as you feel. You're in a time of rest. You are like this thing that you may not be aware of the fact that you may be distracting from the fact that you need to rest right now. You need to have downtime right now. Like, stop trying to organize and tidy up and pay attention to your career. You will not get a new idea right now. You will not be able to step into new. If this is what you're distracting yourself with, Jack of Spades, so rebel, fight for a cause, intellectual, political. If you're just being in your head right now, because that's where you feel comfortable, that may be the way that you're distracting. And that's too busy. Alright, let's get some advice. How can we get through this? What can help us with this? Because it seems like you're supposed to have a time period of moving through something on a slower level, because it's like it's just like a recuperation. You're not really like healing a specific wound. You are healing. You are in a phase in life where you actually just need to step down, take a rest, and move through a stage. It's nothing that's been harbored in your energy for a long time, although it could be tied to some things, like a lot of things, that way. You created this situation and you have the power to change it. You were rebelling and fighting against something, and it could have been the ending. And it kind of made things a little bit more sticky for you, a little bit more apathetic, instead of just like embracing that change, right? Embracing that this was the time for that to change and end. Okay, what's going to help with this? I'm looking at Archangel Michael's deck now. If there's any worry, your home is protected by angels. Where you belong, it's going to be there for you no matter what. This thing that just fell apart, this thing that you may have even made worse by rebelling, it doesn't affect your home and you being protected by angels. There's safe place for you to be right now. Okay? Retreat. Let's see what else. I don't feel concluded on this yet, so I'm going to keep going. Feels like a lot of vague energy, so there could be a lot of people watching this particular pile. Okay, so this gives me the feeling that you've been acting out in ways that are like maybe even out of your character, or like showing like this lack of self-respect, but it's up to you now to hold yourself to the standard that you have, the standard you have, which we know is tidy and put together and organized. You are in a chaotic situation right now. Your soul wanted to experience it. And all this energy that you've been putting out, like in a chaotic way, the rebellious way, it's your energy of creation. It's what you're creating life with. So that's why it's giving your responsibility back to you, saying, you created this situation, you have the power to change it. It's like, it's all in your hands. This is even your creation. This experience in your life is your creation. You don't have to worry. I mean, you haven't gone off the deep end or anything. Everything's safe, like don't worry like that. Just know that it's your responsibility. You can do it. Respect yourself and be the person that you know you are to get yourself through this situation, and then be proud of your accomplishment for doing that. No one else is going to know that you picked yourself up and that you decided to hold yourself to a higher standard, but you know. You will know. Okay, what else? I feel like going for the what needs to be said deck. This might be something you need to say to someone else, what someone else needs to say to you, what Spirit's saying to you, what needs to be said. You don't even want to deal with this. I'm distracted. Alright, perhaps you need to tell somebody, like, I'm distracted, I'm kind of going through a thing, I need to take some space, Perhaps you need to admit to yourself that you've been distracted. Where have you been? It's like we're having a conversation now. I'm distracted. Where have you been? I'm distracted. People are wanting answers from you. It's feeling like a lot of pressure when you're literally just being asked to have some self-respect and step up and put yourself into the situation that you know is of your caliber, is of your creation, is what you want for yourself. Can I speak candidly? Sometimes prefacing a conversation with this can soften somebody, right? Like, can I say something that's really difficult? Can I share with you something that I'm not sure how to say? Like, anything like that. Like, or please don't be upset, but I'm not trying to upset you, but, like, all of that, you can really, change a situation with the way you hold yourself to a standard and the way you use your empathy to navigate. Yeah, I feel like this is a wide array of people have maybe chosen this. And so it's hard to pin down a particular problem. But generally, this is what it is. Generally, it's you're going through a phase. You're feeling like so much. You feel like, how dare you? How you are trying to put it off on other people when actually you created this. Your self-respect is what gets you through this. So take back all the power that you've given to others for their part in this. Bring it back into yourself. Let's take, for example, how dare you? Okay, so this person has wronged you in some way. You've come to the conclusion that you need to let this go, this relationship go. It wasn't exactly what you thought it would be, okay? That person was just who they were the whole time. You went in as a knight. You went in as a knight with a certain expectation, okay? That expectation was not accurate. So this experience gave you clarity, if you're willing to take it. If you're willing to look at it, if you're willing to say, okay, there's something to learn from this. The positive expectation is that there's something to learn from this. That it will turn out good for you. There is a whole magical nature here on Earth that you know about. And you got yourself caught into this little mess, which is showing you where you don't respect yourself enough. So where you don't respect yourself enough is where you would say to the other person that it's their fault. Because you know damn well that you came in with a certain expectation. When that expectation wasn't being met, you used certain methods to try to coerce that situation into fit the vision that you had. It never fit because you didn't consider the free will of the other person. Yes, you created this situation. You don't get to create the other person's reaction. You get to create yours. So when you knew that this person didn't fit into what you wanted, right then you started using your own energy, your creation energy, towards a chaotic situation of trying to manipulate and get what you wanted. This has put you into a chaotic situation where you kind of fear, there's a lot of fear. They're trying to take your fear away by saying your home is protected by angels so that you know this is okay, nothing's wrong, you haven't done it wrong, this is for your experience of it, you are allowed to do this. It's not wrong, it's just that you are the only one who can change it if you want to. And you do want to, because you do want contentment. You like things to be buttoned up and to know what they're about, Oh, I forgot about this deck, okay. So I've got a deck of songs. Let's see if there's a song. So these songs are songs, that I know. So I know, like, what kind of feeling they give me. So that's how I'm going to use these and interpret them. But if you listen to the song, it may have a special meaning to you as well. It could be more of a message about the wound that you've been distracting from. Even now, through this reading. I'm not the only one. You say I'm crazy, 'cause you don't think I know what you've done. But when you call me baby, I know I'm not the only one. Sounds like there's a third party. You say I'm crazy, 'cause you don't think I know what you've done. And when you call me baby, I know I'm not the only one. This person knew they were being played. You were being played and you knew it. You knew this was a play. There was like chess moves being played. And codependency. Addictions. Brings me back to doing the dishes, singing the song, while the man who was lying to me, cheating on me, and going behind my back was just like walking by, acting as if nothing. And this is how I told him I knew. He just acted like it was nothing. So it was like you both knew and nobody would say it. You kind of knew that this was like a thing that you were just going through the motions and... Yeah, and it's basically just saying, yeah, you did this, you created this, this is the experience that you've had, now what do you want to do? And take some time to figure it out. The wound that you've been distracting from is the idea that you are in control. You had your heart set on somebody. The only man that could ever love me was the son of a preacher man. And you tried to make this broken love work. Come on, skinny love, just last a year. That's funny that I have that listed by Birdie. Actually, Bon Iver is who I know that song to be sung by. And Heartless. To a woman so heartless. So this is, yeah, we said that, broken-hearted. It was just all an experience that your soul wanted to have and that you can rise up from the ashes from. There's a lot of harsh truths that have to be digested in this, so find somebody you can cry to. When your baby has left you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. Yeah, find a friend, talk about it, cry it out, journal, write a song. Expect that you will come out of this, you know? Like, this is just a little soap opera that you went through. And it hurts. Feel it all. Feel it all. Feel it all. Feel it all. I don't know what else I could possibly say. Because, like, you're in a raw spot, you know? You are in a raw spot, and that's the way it's supposed to be right now. It's not wrong. It's not wrong, and the healing of this is a process, so it's nothing that... I mean, the distraction is when you won't feel it. The distraction is when you won't actually look at it and feel it, when you just keep trying to do it. When you just keep trying to be in the relationship that you already know is just faked at this point, you know? Have positive expectation for yourself without that situation. You know, use your sexual energy towards a creation that you do want now that you know what you know. Have the respect for yourself that you know you should have. When you're ready. Alright. I just feel like getting a few from here. Let's see. It's more about your home, how you make a living, and how you feel about yourself. Know that you're worth it. You're worth it. The vision you have, you are worthy. You are worthy. You're on earth having an experience. What you're experiencing was all for you. And even though it hurts, love the part of yourself that hurts, but you are worthy of what you want and desire, and you have what it takes to create it. Yeah, you're just learning to raise your standards. Oh, my voice. It's hard to talk about these things, right? Like, can I speak candidly? It's like, I have something to say and I don't feel good about saying it. You are worthy. What you feel and what you think is worthwhile. Examine your relationships, your partnerships. Examine that. You are worth it, you know? Like, don't settle for less than what you are worth. Make yourself, raise your standard, and be who you really are. And let this go for now. You know? Who knows, maybe you'll come back together in the future. But this is a separation. You're separating from somebody, and it's hard. Even though it felt like a game, even though you kind of knew it was going this way, even though you tried to hold on, even though the part of you that didn't want to go through this healing process held on, you know, it is over. That is what's happening, and it's okay. Like, it feels very big and dramatic, but it's actually the experience that you wanted to have so that you know what to do to raise your standard and go on to what you prefer. Okay. Leo came out. Shine your light. Be who you are. You know, it's not just for you that you're doing that, right? It's like Leo needs to lead us with their expression. When you figure this out, you may be able to express this. You're going to shine. You're going to stand tall, and you're going to know, you know, you're going to know. You're going to know that you raised your standards. and decide how you want to feel. Decide how you want to feel. Do you want to feel all this doubt and this anger and this like chess game? Or you want to just feel at ease? You want to feel happy? Do you want to feel like that was a very interesting, good experience, and I'm glad I don't have to live that way anymore? I can feel the hurt in your heart, and it makes me want to keep going to help you feel better. But I gotta tell you that I'm gonna let you go anyway, and I'm gonna let you go with the understanding that, you know, check in with somebody if you need somebody. I know you're very strong. You know, you got this. You got this. But don't hesitate to reach out if you do need to talk to somebody, because I believe that was one of the cards here. It's like, yeah, that cry to me. Yeah, the song card, cry to me, is inviting you to find someone that you can find comfort in if needed, you know. Raise your standard to that, you know. Don't go repeating the same old thing with the next situation. Speak candidly. Tell the person, like, I'm distracting from this issue right now. Do you want to do that with me? Like, you know. But definitely every reason to expect positive things, because you know what you're capable of. There is magic to be had here. You are part of it. You are creating something here, and this experience was something you wanted to have to assist you in the knowledge you need to do that. So keep going. This is, you know, I've been through all this kind of experience that I've described here. And on the other side of it, there is this feeling of like, I did that, I took control, I raised my standards, I decided what was best for me, I saw through the lies, I decided to get strong, I'm the one who took responsibility for where I went wrong, I stopped blaming others, I decided how I wanted to live, I decided that I want to feel happy, I decided that I don't want to look over my shoulder anymore, I decided that if someone needs to have my back, that I have my back, and that I don't put somebody at my backside that isn't trustworthy. I raised my standards that way. So in doing so, you know, I moved through that certain segment of my life where there was a lot of experiences that I needed to have to teach me what it's like to be in that place. Okay. Ready? If you accept this, I'm going to give a big whoosh, a big cleansing whoosh of violet flame energy, okay? Ready? That song Cry to Me's in my head. And nobody calls you on the phone. Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me.